guys, welcome back to a brand new Star Wars figure review. Today we'll take a look at one of the brand new figures from the Star Wars Black Series Deluxe line. This figure's just come out into the retail market, and that is this guy here. The cyborg droid himself, General Grievous. Now before we look at him, take a look at the packaging this one comes in. This is a slightly wider packaging than most of the Black Series figures before, because it's a brand new line. Actually it's got D1 as its first of the Deluxe line, being General Grievous. But it's the same as before as well. You've got a full clear picture with the Gregory Titus art of General Grievous. I think that's from the scene where he's talking to Anakin when they come face to face at that moment. So that's a really good touch to make this figure, but apart from that it's all the same. You can read the description now if you want to. Just pause the video there while it's showing up clearly. And now we'll get down and look at the figures, and this figure has its positives, but there are a few little tidbits that are a bit of a disappointment with it, but overall it's a fine addition to your collection. The cape is soft goods. Weirdly they don't have the Separatist logo thing that was usually on the back, because if you have any older versions of Grievous, or if you remember from the film, you'll notice there's a printing on the back of the cape. That's been omitted from this one, but they've got it in the right shade, and they've kind of done it as a cross patch version. And I initially thought this was Velcro attached, but it's actually not. I saw it in the pictures, but it fits on well. It does fit the figure well, provided you have the arms in a good enough position. You can see the parts of him that are there, and it's very easy to remove. You just lift it over him, just like that, and you can have him in his 4 lightsabers combat pose, should I say. So of course, yes, he does come with the 4 that are seen here, 2 green and 2 blue. And then he can fight Jedi with them, most notably in Revenge of the Sith, where he fights Obi-Wan, or General Kenobi, at that point in the movie. Yeah, now the facial sculpt, I'll go through that first. That is spot on, and catching Grievous really well, and the way the cables underneath have been made to have the figure before, you can actually see it through the gears underneath. It's hard to point it out in this, but there's actually gears underneath that move around as you move Grievous's head forwards and backwards, but you can pose him in great facial looks like that when he's riding his wheel bike, or when he's facing off against someone. And give a quick rundown of the articulation. You have a ball joint at the neck, as well as the hinge at the front, so you can do the same movements. He has ball jointed shoulders, hinges and swivels at the elbows, swivel forearms, and this is on both arms as well. Ball jointed torso at the front there, ball hinged hips, which are rather restrictive with the cybernetic parts there, double joints at the knees, and hinges at the ankles. There's no whether swivels on the actual feet, so it's a mix of the articulation, not the same as most hyper articulated Black Series figures, but it is one worthy addition. Of course, as well as the lightsabers, you do get his DT-57 blaster pistol, which you can position him with in one of the hands. I'll just take one of the lightsabers off and do it like that. It takes me a while to do this. So there he is holding it now, so you can even just take them all off as well. So, because a feature that this figure has is, because of course he separates his arms into 4 when he's dueling Obi-Wan, you actually have pegs on them that can, at certain points that you can bring down, sorry about that can attach the 2 arms together. Then you can have him in his 2-hand format. I'll just do it for one of these now. You need to make sure you do it in the right position, because I had it there with the hands below, but like I said, there's a peg there on the bottom, one there under the hand, and simply attach the hand in at the correct spot. So I'm just going to do it with the one rather than with both of them, but while I do like this feature, you have to be careful with the articulation on the elbows because they're both separate joints, so you need to make sure that they're in the right spot for it to attach properly, which is, I think that's one of the little disappointments that I got with this figure, that I find like there's a few little tidbits that I just are not overly 100% satisfied with, but it's a good attempt, and it's good we finally have a version of Grievous available in the Black Series. So there we go, that's a better look of Grievous with the two arms put together, but it's really hard to move them around, so yeah, I'm more preferring keeping him in the four-arm format as opposed to the two. I'm just going to put the cape back on him again because there's another little feature that can be seen there. I'll just separate the hands again. So the cape can fit nice and well around Grievous, provided you fiddle it around and get it into a good point. And the other little feature I have is to do with the, because if you remember in the movie there's a state moment when Grievous takes Anakin's and Obi-Wan's lightsabers and he puts them in sort of a little pocket spot inside his cape. This is included because it's the same colour, but it's right there where my finger is, and there are 4 little slots in which you can stick lightsabers. So I'm just going to take this one here. As all the blades are removable from the hilts, bit of a squeeze of course, but it's like most Black Series figures there. And then you can simply slot the lightsaber unlit into the pocket there, and then the same with the other 3 that come with the figure. So yeah, that's a nice little addition. Like, Hasbro have gone all out to make this figure a good figure as part of their line, and if you do so happen to have the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure from the Black Series, the original line, you can have a diorama going on from Revenge of the Sith when they fight, so that's a good piece to add to. But it's a very worthy addition to anyone, like any collectors out there want a really good figure for your collection. General Grievous is one I just can't recommend enough because he's really good, and he's an excellent first attempt for a deluxe Black Series action figure. It just gets me thinking who they'll do for future ones. I'm partly hoping they might have someone, probably might even revisit some Legends characters from like older times, and maybe they'll get some deluxe Black Series releases for those fans that want figures from that period. So I'll just finish putting my lightsabers back in. So there we go, that's the final version of Grievous. I'm just going to leave him like that for the rest of the video now. So there we go. So I put a link to this in Star Action Figures, and I think at the time of filming this review he's actually sold out because I pre-ordered him when he became available, and I believe he sold out a couple of days later after he was released officially. But I'm assuming they're going to have more stock coming in soon, so it's okay, you'll be able to click the notify me link, and then you can have a chance to pick up this figure for yourself because he's really, really worth having, and I'm chuffed a bit to have Grievous in the collection too. There's a few more I'm aiming to get as well, so there's plenty more on the way, and there's a few more I picked up when I got this. There'll be reviews of those on the way too, as well as the archive line which launched earlier this year, so there'll be plenty of figures out there to talk about on the channel too. But I hope you've enjoyed giving a look at Grievous. I'll just give you a quick look as well before we finish at all the different details on the body before I finish off this review, so you can have a full look down of the figure. But it is such a really great one with all the details. To give this a rating out of 5, it definitely gets a 4. I think the elbows thing is just what cuts it off for me, but everything else about it is really good. Just the detail, the poses you can get him in, just everything else about him's great, and I think he's a fine addition to any Black Series collector's collection. So yeah, that was General Grievous. I enjoyed looking at him. Do give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and do leave a comment, subscribe for more, and hit that notification bell so you know when I put up more reviews. But I'll be glad to see you guys next time.